Vanity alert. Because we don't do vanity here at Pirates or Us. I want to thank. Well, I'll bring up the dog's name, Mr. Riley. Thanks for helping me fix the bike. Because I got kind of beat up, but let's not talk about that. People, they don't understand me, and so when people don't understand things, they set people on fire on stakes. It's in human history. I saw a video this morning about, it was our vice president, and he was saying that aliens are they're not from another place, they're demons. That aliens are demons. Well, Mr. Vice President, I think you're wrong. Aliens are from someplace. Now, they may not be from outer space. Do you know that the world is 75% water? Maybe they just live in the ocean. There's all kinds of videos of these creatures going in and out of the water, which makes perfect sense to me. Maybe aliens have been around longer than we have, and they just don't mess with us, because we're kind of violent. Nuclear weapons, war. We're at war right now. They say it's World War III, that we're getting into World War III. Well, guess what, guys? That's another lie that you've had to live with. We're not waiting on World War III. We're waiting on World War V. And I can prove it. See, this is what people hate about me, is that I can prove everything I say, and then they just don't like it. They don't like to hear how I prove this stuff. The definition of a world war is when a war breaks out on one continent and then spills over to another. That's, if you look it up, that's the definition of a world war. When a war breaks out on one continent, spills over to another. Well, that's pretty much what happened in the American Revolution. When George Washington and them boys, beat England back into the pond, it spread all kinds of civil wars in Europe. And they're like, well, we don't want to live under kings and queens either. I'm not going to live under a king or a queen, let them eat bread. Fuck you. I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live it. And I'm not gonna tolerate your bullshit. Excuse my French. But there you go. After the American Revolution, the French Revolution broke out. England had it. They still keep kings and queens. People, for some reason, think England's our ally, but they're not. I hate England. They're I hope that island sinks under the ocean. But anyway, that was World War I. Because of what happened here when America said, we're going to be a free nation, and we beat England back into the pond, whatever. It started a whole bunch of war. So that was World War I. So World War I, all right, was actually World War II. And World War II was actually number 3. Now let's put all this aside, okay? When Osama bin Laden, and I don't believe any of this, I think this was all created. I believe it was all created. When Osama bin Laden flew them jets into the World Trade Center and then declared war on America, that was World War IV. That was World War IV. He declared war on us. If you believe in that, because I don't believe it myself. I know what happened, and I know who did it, and I know why. So we're now waging World War V. Iran and Israel. American Revolution was one. World War One was two. World War Two is three. And something like that was four. How many more world wars do we have to fight till we get it right, man? We're gonna destroy ourselves. We're gonna destroy ourselves. I hope when the nuclear missiles start flying that the first one lands right on top of my head, because I don't want to be around in the aftermath. Remember that I say, love the one you're with, because you may not see him tomorrow. I love you. Call me later.